Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. We're just going to get right into it. It was all about Nvidia today. Nvidia. Nvidia had the power and the strength to lift the market, and it had the power and the strength to tank the market, okay? Neither of these really happened on today. So let's just dive right into it. We could see that the market overall came back and posted some good numbers. The Nasdaq, 390, we were up 400 points, okay? The S&P 79, the Dow 642 points, okay? Everything over a point. The Nasdaq came roaring back a 1.5%. And the S&P, you could see that. And the Dow was almost 1.5%, right? So we had 391 points on the Nasdaq, the S&P 79, and then 647. But what happened with Nvidia? The whole market was weighing on Nvidia, if you ask me, okay? But look, it had a flat day, ran up 1.3%, but in the right after they reported earnings, negative 1.26%. So that's going to be a flat day for Nvidia. Down actually over the week leading up to. You could see that we are down by almost 3% leading up to the biggest. It was the last Mag 7 to report, right? So we're down. How are we looking for the month while we're here? Still up 10% for the month, but leading into earnings, that was flat. Now, did I expect it to lift the market a lot? Nope. But if they would have came back with negative numbers, I expected it to tank the market because just like Palantir, price to perfection, and it's getting punished for that. So you're getting an A on your test and you're getting punished now. So look at this. Nvidia delivered record-breaking Q1 earnings report, exceeding Wall Street's estimate across the board with adjusted earnings of 1.8% per share and 81.62 billion in revenue. Now, I got a video of a gentleman that has all of the data, and I just want you to listen to these earnings and we'll go from there.
Increasing our quarterly dividends from 1 cent to 25 cents.
Let's get to Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley on the latest. Dan, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Brooke, they obviously beat on the top and bottom line, and they provided a better than anticipated Q2 outlook. But the stock initially fell around 2%. Right now, it's just hovering around 1%. In the quarter, they said for Q2, they said they anticipate between 89.1 and 92.8 billion dollars in revenue. Wall Street initially was looking for 87.3 billion. That's for Q2. For Q1, though, the company came in with EPS of $1.87 and revenue of 81.62 billion. The estimate was for $1.77 and 79.18 billion. So obviously a big beat there. And then on the data center side, obviously the most important business for Nvidia, they had revenue at 75.2 billion. The projection was for 73.47 billion. Just give you kind of put that into perspective, the company brought in 39.11 billion in the same quarter just last year on the data center side of things. Now, CFO Colette Kress said that they didn't see any Hopper product revenue out of China during that quarter. You recall that Jensen Huang, the CEO, was just in China with President Trump trying to get more chips, or at least ship any chips into the country. The U.S. has offered Nvidia licenses to ship, but China has to then allow them to be imported, and so far we're not seeing that, though reports indicate that that could change in the near future. It's been kind of a touch-and-go situation for them there. And I just want to point out that Kress also said that about 50% of the revenue in the data center continue to come from hyperscalers. Those are the Microsofts, Googles, Amazons, Metas of the world. The other 50% came from a variety of sources. That includes AI clouds, industrial, enterprise, and sovereign customers. Sovereign AI, where countries buy up AI chips for their own needs, is something that Jensen Huang has been talking about a lot as being another step for the company going forward. So obviously a big beat here. They're dealing with a lot of competition. Cerebras just had their IPO last week with their own AI chip. We have Nvidia with their own AI chips, and then obviously Amazon and Google continuing to push further into the space.
Now here we could see that Nvidia was whipsawing the market earlier today. For those of you that were doing options, you saw it in real time. Nvidia is the dark blue, and we could see as it went up, the Qs went up, everything just went up at the same time. And when Nvidia cooled off, so did the Qs, so did the Nasdaq cool off, right? And then we had some news right here. We start to go back up, and then closing bell. Of course, when closing bell happens, right, the Nasdaq stayed where it was while Nvidia's earnings came in, and that's when it started to sell off, right? And before you guys ask, I already know. Larry, what about INFQ? Because some of you guys are trying to get rich on a penny stock. Remember, the rules are small cap, small stock. Small cap, small money. Big cap, big money, right? Remember on my last video, I said, listen, if you got an ETF, you need to have you need to have 95% in that ETF. And if you're going to dib and dab with small caps. Now, having said that, I'm still strong on INFQ, but I'm not dumping a bunch of money in it because you're going to be top heavy if it comes down, okay? Just don't do it, okay? Don't try to recreate QUBT. That's what makes you mess up. This is a long-term play for me, guys. So I wanted to go over inflection really quick. Still believe in it, and it's doing what it's supposed to do, really, because look at what happened. It went up with Nvidia. So let's just take the Qs out, right? Since the market was with Nvidia. Nvidia rose, it rose. Nvidia plateaued off, it plateaued off. You see exactly? And then at closing bell, it just plateaued, right? Right here. And you can see inflection had its ranges too, okay? Up and down. Sorry, guys, I don't have time to edit this out. Let's go right to the inflection chart, shall we? Here's what I'm doing, guys. I'm not going to be, when you try to really chart something this small and volatile, it's overhyped. The financials are absolutely horrible, just like all of the other, with the exception of probably IONQ, all of the other quantum computing, like I've been saying, their fundamentals, their financials, their balance sheet is crap. But there's still money to be made, okay? You just have to know what you're playing with. All right, so let's go back to it. Here's what I'm going to do, guys, right? So we got stopped out. If you had your stop loss set where I had mine, you got stopped out. And that was a good thing, right? So you can buy it lower, okay? So that's why we don't go in top heavy. What happens is if it falls, you want to have more money to put into it at a lower price. So here's what I'm doing. Remember, you do your own due diligence and your own study. What I think about this company has not changed, just like HIMS. I think fundamentally in the long term, this will be a great stock. Okay, so here's the RSI. I was going to say the IRS. Right? Just got through with them. But here's the RSI. I'm buying the RSI. I struck some lines here for you. I'm buying this based on the RSI, right? When the RSI goes beneath 30, so I put another line here so you can see between 30 and 20, when it dips beneath 30, that's when I'm going to look to buy it. Now here, it dipped down lower than 1045. I think it was like 1033 or something like that. Yeah, around 1033 is where you could have caught the bottom of this stock. And then it started to climb back up because it was oversold, guys. It was oversold. Even a stock this small. But on a day when you have something in the same sphere, which is Nvidia, AI, tech, chips, And that's what this is. This company is. So when it goes down, it brings everything down, and the smaller cap stocks get really whipped down. Well, having said that, Nvidia didn't go down that much, and actually inflection was trying to work its way back up. It's showing some strength. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to see what happens tomorrow. We wanted Nvidia's earnings to be over. That's what I wanted it to be over, because now it's going to find its fair footing. Okay. So if you look at this line, guys, it's exactly where it was before all of this Nvidia stuff came in. It's actually right back where it was, right here. Look at that. So it started here, flush, came right back. Okay, so that is showing some sort of strength for such a small cap stock for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until Monday, see what the market does according to Nvidia's earnings, which were good. And then I will start to dollar cost average again. That's what I'm going to start doing. But I'm going to dollar cost average in the smallest amounts. Then what I'm going to do, this is Larry, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm going to set some buy orders at around 1045. That's what I'm going to do. So if you're at work and something happens, you can get it for the lower price. And I'm going to set it to good until expired, right? I'm not going to set it for the day, right? Sorry for all of the stuttering, guys. I'm just trying to get through it. So now let's look at the pre-markets. Not bad, guys. All right. The pre-markets are not bad at this point. I'm filming this. It's like 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is not bad, guys. Negative 60 points on the Nasdaq, 82. This is not bad, okay? All things considered, as overinflated as this market is, that's not bad. And Nvidia smashed it, but just like Palantir, the market had it priced to perfection. Now comes reality. The reality is now there is the rate reduction is off the table, right? Now they're talking about rate hikes. There's the Fed may have to have rate hikes, and we know about the minutes, right? But there's a governing board. So the Fed has to, there's a vote that happens. Now, one analyst said that the Fed may have to do 4 raises of 25 basis points apiece. So 1 full point, right? That won't be good for the market. And we are still in May. Selling may go away. That whole deal, right? So I expect a little more pullback. Remember, I was thinking about 5% overall. I'm expecting a little more cool down, and it's better that it's a little at a time, a little here, a little there, day by day, rather than one big flush in this environment. Then we have the war. Is it going to end? Every week, we're getting close. It's looking good, blah, 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 blah. And then it falls apart. It's a yo-yo. So it's making it more difficult for you to make a solid plan. I'm telling you that Larry is just going to be dollar cost averaging on certain days. I'm not buying every dip, right? I just let today ride. I didn't buy anything, okay? It was a green day. But even yesterday, I didn't buy anything on a red day. The only thing that I bought some more of was inflection. But I set a stop loss, okay? So we're going to see what tomorrow brings. I just wanted to come and talk to you guys before you went to bed if you see this. Now, let's see what the pre-markets bring us tomorrow. But like I said in my last video, I'm not looking to do a lot of buying right now because the market is still frothy. What I'm looking to do is continue as I get paid, because I pay myself from my companies. I continue to put money into my account. Just like that's the first bill I pay is myself. And then if the market does pull back, then instead of me buying every dip, I'll have more cash to spend. How about you? We will see you tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn.